About 9, 10 days ago, I put this video up on the YouTube channel and the other channels too, and on the website. A duty to disobey unlawful orders. Because I said what was happening in the Caribbean in particular, off the coast of Venezuela and Colombia and so on. All these boats that the United States is blowing up and killing the alleged drug members out on. Well, it's murder. Because we're not officially at war with anyone. And I don't care what they say about designated terrorist organizations. You haven't proven that. You haven't shown one iota of evidence to show that these people were guilty of the crimes that they were supposedly committing. But they don't care. This administration is completely lawless. He seeks to write the times and the laws indeed. That's what's happening here. But I said, as a service member in the United States military, I was one of them. And one of the duties we had was disobeying an unlawful order, because we could be prosecuted for following those unlawful orders, same as the one giving them. That was one good reason. But we were supposed to disobey those types of orders. And the service members today should be doing the same thing, and that's why those senators came out and said what they said. Of course, it was also to foment more division in the country and within our own military. And it's done that. But anyway, this is murder. Could Hegseth face prosecution for alleged order to kill everyone on a boat in the Caribbean? Yes, he could, according to a lot of international law experts, and domestic ones too. But anyway, we'll get to the story at hand. Defense Secretary Hegseth could face criminal liability for a strike on the boat in the Caribbean. Back in September, legal experts have told Time, as lawmakers announced a rare bipartisan investigation of the incident in which 11 people were allegedly killed in two separate strikes. The September 2nd strikes, among the first in the Trump administration's month-long bombing campaign against what it claims are drug trafficking boats operating in the Caribbean, were carried out by SEAL Team 6 at the orders of Hegseth. The orders was to kill everybody, a person with direct knowledge of the operation reportedly told the Post, adding that the order was given verbally. In an effort to comply with that order, the commanding officer of the operation directed the second strike, targeting two survivors of an initial attack who were clinging to the smoldering wreck. Several experts in international law interviewed by Time said the events as described in the report, if accurate, constitute murder and a war crime for which Hegseth could be held legally culpable. It is absolutely unlawful to order that there will be no survivors, according to Rebecca Ingber, professor of law at Cardozo Law School and an expert in international law, tells Time. She said there's no actual armed conflict here, so this is murder. Declaring that there be no survivors, or otherwise killing people or to combat that are out of the fight, is a war crime. This is one of the most basic and long-standing rules of LOAC, referring to the laws of armed conflict. Hegseth called the report fabricated and a part of a fake news campaign to discredit service members in a lengthy response on X, without directly denying that he ordered the strikes. Well, guess what? White House confirms today Hegseth authorized second strike on drug boat. It should say alleged drug boat. We don't know that. We don't know that whatsoever at all. So, here we go. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed on Monday that Defense Secretary Hegseth authorized the second follow-up strike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean in September, following a bombshell Washington Post report that claimed he ordered the military to kill everybody. Leavitt told reporters at the White House press briefing that Hegseth authorized Admiral Frank Bradley to carry out the second strike, which reportedly killed two people who were hanging on to the burning vessel after an initial strike. We're not even at war with anyone, at least not yet. There's been no declared war in the Caribbean on anybody, except drug traffickers, narco traffickers. If they were so concerned about drug trafficking in Central and South America, why in the world is Trump about to pardon this ex-Honduras president convicted of drug trafficking and weapons smuggling? And here it is right here from 2 days ago at the BBC. Donald Trump has said he will pardon the former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted of drug trafficking charges in a U.S. court last year. The U.S. president said Hernandez had been treated harshly and unfairly. Oh, you mean like the people he just murdered in the Caribbean? Isn't that a little harsh and unfair, Donald Trump? Not my president. Wow. Hernandez was found guilty in March of 2024 of conspiring to import cocaine into the U.S. and of possessing machine guns. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison. And Trump's going to pardon him. But he says he's against these narco traffickers bringing drugs into the United States. So Trump also threw his support behind conservative presidential candidate Nasri Tito Asfura, I'm sure another criminal, in the Central American nation's national election due to be held on Sunday. Hernandez, a member of the National Party who served as Honduras president from 2014 to 2022, was extradited to the U.S. in April of 22 to stand trial for running a violent drug trafficking conspiracy and helping to smuggle hundreds of tons of cocaine into the U.S. But we have to stop them. We have to stop these narco terrorists, they're saying. And it says here, Levitt went on to say at the press conference, President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have made it clear that presidentially designated narco terrorist groups are subject to lethal targeting in accordance with the laws of war. She doesn't cite which laws. With respect to the strikes in question on September 2nd, Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes. And she said Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law. Bullshit. To ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated. They were no more threat to America when they're floating around in the Caribbean, clinging for life, for dear life, onto a destroyed boat. They were no more threat. This is just plain murder. And then they sit here and lie about it because Donald Trump serves the father of lies. The father of lies lives within him, the devil. He is the Antichrist, and he's just rewriting the times and the laws as he sees fit. And all the Trump tards just sit there and go, oh, yeah, he wants to stop the drugs, Johnny. Really? Then why is he pardoning this ex-Honduran president who was convicted of drug trafficking and was sentenced to 45 years in prison? This wasn't some small-time dealer on the street. This was a major player. And now Trump's going to pardon him, even though he's, authorized this war on drugs. And it's all legal and above the board. Bullshit. I'm so sick and tired of these people gaslighting us. I could scream. And we do have, as service members, you do have a duty to disobey unlawful orders to murder people like that. Why do you think the commander of Southcom, Southern Command, is just all of a sudden retiring shortly after he was appointed to the job? It's because of this extrajudicial killing that they're doing in the Caribbean and calling it legal. We covered this in this video last week or 10 days ago, whatever it was. I lose track of time anymore. But there it is, right in your face. This is murder, plain and simple. And Hegseth should face prosecution for these orders to kill everyone on boats in the Caribbean. It's not just one. This is just one example. And maybe it's the most blatant. Maybe it isn't. But I'm sure more will come out soon. Wow. And for those of you who support all this, you're supporting murder. And you call yourselves Christians? Really? What kind of fruit are you producing? What kind of fruit? Because the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Are you displaying any of those in your life? Or the opposite? Jesus Christ said, blessed are the peacemakers, not the warmongers. Wow. Better repent. Time is getting short. God bless. Take care. Johnny Storm. Don't Speak News.